Hello, hello. It is your Astro Coach Sarah here for Wellness Astrology, this time for the moon in Scorpio. Y'all know I love a Scorpio moon. But the good news is that, and we're building up to a full moon in Sag, with the sun in Gemini, Mercury and Jupiter also in Gemini. We're building a few things, but it's nothing particularly new other than it's a moon in Scorpio over the weekend, building to a full moon on the 10th, 11th, 10th, 11th, something like that. So but there's nothing like particularly new. The one thing I like about this though is there is a Mercury Jupiter conjunction at 29 degrees of Gemini, just ahead of both of them moving into Cancer. And I like this because it's almost like Mercury's gonna like check Jupiter, and Jupiter is the bigger planet. The Jupiters that fall, right? So, or at detriment. He's not in his happy place. He's in, Mercury's home, and Mercury is sort of like boss. But I like it because it's at 29 Gemini. Gemini is the twins. It's about seeking information, knowledge, it's truth seeking, it's curious. And at 29 degrees, it's like the most mature degree of any sign. And so it's almost like there's this like magical opportunity to seek information should you choose to seek information. Um, there's also like, getting curious about things or, diving down rabbit holes of information about things. Like maybe you're getting curious about the consequences of the jibby jab or the consequences of the gender issues and things they're in. And there's a lot of psychology in both of those areas that you could, investigate. But there's also like the psychology of your own spirituality. We are talking about Gemini and Sagittarius. Yes, the moon's in Scorpio. Scorpio is psychic. It's psychic. It's about the dark, the occult, the unseen. And so, and Gemini is curious, maybe, and Mercury is the ruler of astrology. So perhaps this is your opportunity to get a reading from me. The links are below. That was really good. Um, but this is really a good opportunity to explore information. There could be some truth come out. Jupiter does rule like doctrine or dogmatic religions, belief systems. Maybe there's some truth coming out about religions or religious groups or something like that. We also have that building Mars square Uranus, which looks awfully dicey. And the Scorpio moon will indeed square Mars and then oppose Uranus. And it's, I'd call it a T square. So it could bring some tension, some emotion to some building up tensions and issues. But also keep in mind that like this Jupiter moving to 29 degrees almost ingress, they're both going to ingress into Cancer. It's just not going to happen during the Scorpio moon. It's going to happen when the moon flips over to Sag and builds into that full moon. But for all intents and purposes, the energy is present for Mercury and Jupiter to ingress into Cancer. Jupiter's exalted in Cancer. It's his happy place. Mercury is more communicative emotionally or in a more nurturing way in Cancer. And they're both going to square Saturn and then square Neptune in Aries. And so, I've kind of been talking about like how that relates to issues from 2020, but I mean, not even just that, like globally speaking, but like communicating about like your home, right? Cancer is not only like home, maternal, nurturing, self-care, emotional, and all of those things, but it's also like home, being a home body, taking care of your home. Yes, this could affect the housing market if you're trying to buy and or sell real estate. There could be some things there, but it could be like how much are you speaking of your home or what you're speaking about your home, right? This could also be like something related to your children or having children or something like that, depending on what edge of the spectrum you are on. But tensions certainly with the Mercury, Jupiter squaring Saturn and Aries, but because they're both cardinal signs, like this really could be like something gets initiated, something begins around housing or home, opportunities to move or relocate with Jupiter. That's interesting. Um, but with this moon in Scorpio, remember, and this is over the weekend, so shadows and the dark side of things, but psychic intuition, psychic messages, you could really experience, and God only knows what the Schumann resonance has been doing, but it has been up and down and all over the place. We've had timeline jumps, we've had bursts of bright solar energy. We've had a lot of things going on. But so therefore, with this moon in Scorpio, with these two planets going from an air sign to a water sign, uh, something could, like, you could get an intuitive, like, this isn't a Cazimi, because a Cazimi is when Mercury conjunct the sun. However, there could be some sort of like burst of creative idea or creative inspiration. What I'm saying is that this may be a weekend where you really want to pay attention. Keep your journal handy, keep yourself grounded, tune into your body, um, nourish it well, things like that, right? So movement, keep the energy moving. Gemini is fast energy, so is Aries, so is Leo. And so, you want to keep your body moving. You want to keep all systems flowing, like every system, right? Pay attention to your sinuses, pay attention to your gut health, your bowel movements, things like that. I don't think I ever talk about Scorpio without talking about pooping. Like literally, it comes up in every single conversation, whether I'm with a client or not, I talk about pooping. That's how important it is that you have a regular pooping regime. Like seriously. Um, but it's like pay attention to how you're digesting things and therefore like ultimately excreting them. Um, things like that. So I feel like this weekend you could have a lot of intuitive hits. We're heading into a full moon on why am I stuck on when this full moon is peaking? Um, so we're talking about the 6th and 7th, and the full moon peaks on, I want to say the 10th, is when that full moon's going to peak. So, like, I really feel like something could inspire you or open you up. Like eucalyptus and lemon oil might be a really good idea this weekend. Not to mention grounding and journaling and all of that, but like eucalyptus, lemon, having those diffused or something like that could really be helpful this weekend. Because I feel like you're going to get a burst of something that's going to clue you in on what you need to release during the full moon that's going to help you, support you as we get into next week and beyond. Remember, we're heading into some very dynamic, different. Life is never going back to what it was 5, 6, 7 years ago. It is never going to happen. You got to be prepared the next 5 years, the next 6 months, the next what are we at? 8 months before the official Saturn Neptune conjunction, but they're conjunct now. They're within a degree now. So you're being opened up to something new, but to have something new, A, you need to be open to it. And two, or B, you need to be available for it, meaning you have to let something go. You need to poop something out, whether you physically need to take a dump or you need to get something out of your head or heart or whatever it is in order to move forward. I realize the losses right now are really harsh, but they're not meant to go with you. That thing, those people are not meant to go with you on the next part of your journey. Maybe you're meant to do this journey alone. Maybe you're meant to show yourself that you can do it regardless of what shit you've been through, right? So just some things to think about. Let's see what's up with the tarot. Sorry for the noise. And well, if I could get the right app, we'd be doing great. There we go. Okay, let's see what's up with the tarot. Um, the Chariot upright. Something's coming for you in a good way, not like a creature or an alien or whatever. Like, no, this is something is coming. The message is coming. It's coming clear. It's coming. It's big. You need to pay attention. Your Uber is showing up. Your DoorDash is being delivered. Your, I don't know other apps, Uber Eats, DoorDash. There's what? Shop shipped, there's Instacart, there's something being delivered, but it's not going to be like your physical food, groceries, or other things you're ordering from whatever app you're ordering it from. There is a message that's coming that you need to be present to. This isn't about going and seeking it. You're not going to have to go seek it. It's coming to you. Be open, be prepared, pay attention to all of the, the repeated numbers, the chronologicals, the palindromes, however it shows up for you. Pay attention to something that keeps showing up for you. Maybe it's an object, maybe it's the same sequence of something that keeps showing up. Like, why does that keep showing up, right? It's because it's trying to get your attention. Your angels and your spirit guides will try things to get your attention until they figure out they'll kind of like show up, and then like you're not paying attention. They're not intrusive, right? They're not going to force the issue. And so they'll kind of go away, and then they'll come back in a different way, right? I know somebody who like kept ignoring, and I was like, stop ignoring them. They're trying to figure out how best to communicate with you. But if you're loud and you have your TV on and you have your radio on and you have cranked up music and you got your headphones on and da 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 da, you're keeping those away. Cleanse your palate, cleanse your senses so that you can open yourself up to um whatever message is trying to get through for you. Trust me, full moon looks really good for some direction. We also got the Hanged Man in reverse. This is Lieutenant Barclay. Oh, fuck it. Y'all are doing this to yourself. You're keeping yourself hung. You're your problem. You're your limitation. You're your excuses. You're creating your own reality. It's you. You're keeping yourself hung. You're trying to blame everybody else. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Y'all, if I can write a book and send it to publishing under the nose of my entire family who does not support me, does not give two shits about the work I do, half of them don't even speak to me because whatever, that's on them. And I can still get myself together to work out, to make myself better, to keep publishing videos, to keep doing what I do. You know what? If you, I mean, and I know people get like literal about this, like nobody can relate to my circumstance. Nobody can relate to anybody's circumstance. I mean, we try, but you're gonna find a reason that everybody can't relate to your circumstance to keep validating the fact that yours are the worst circumstances, and that's what's keeping you held back from going after whatever it is you're trying to go after. You're hanging yourself. You're keeping yourself hung by the feet or by the noose, if you want to think about it that way. I would like the hangman is usually hung by his feet, so I'm going to keep it that way. Not in the Star Trek deck, but in any other Rider-Waite deck, they're hung. The hangman is hung by his feet. But when the card is reversed, he's hanging himself. He's keeping himself hung up there. There's nothing that's stopping you. You are stopping you. You are the one who keeps seeking trauma bonds to validate your victim traumas. You're the one who keeps seeking, turning your heroes into villains so that, oh, she don't get me. She don't get me. She don't understand. That's on you. You're the one keeping yourself hung. Stop it. Stop it. Cut the ropes down. Cut the ropes down. It's okay that you've been through shit. We've all been through shit. But you know what? Especially if you're near my age group, mid 40s, we need to grow the fuck up because we're kind of like the new next leadership and we need to start acting like it because these 20 somethings are running us over with their knowledge, with their leadership, with their articulation. They're running us over. We're going to miss our opportunity. And the Pluto Libra generation's going, wait a minute. They got quiet. They were supposed to be the ones to help everybody out because Libra's balance, Libra's justice. Oh no, but we went through divorce and, single parenthood and fundy Christian households and we weren't allowed to do the things and blah 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 blah. Trust me when I tell you we were allowed to do a whole hell of a lot more than kids are nowadays. Holy shit, I drank out of a hose. Oh my God, I was just thinking the other day, like of like playing in the dirt and riding my bike and flipping over my handlebars, busted my chin, bled all over the place. It was bad. I think I still have a scar on my chin from it. But we got to ride bikes without helmets. We didn't have to have knee pads, elbow pads. Granted, I had every scrape, every like, how did I not break a bone in life? I don't know. But I we had it good compared to kids now. I have dealt with kids now who don't know how to walk on grass because they live in a city and they've only walked on pavement, right? They don't know how to self-soothe because they are constantly given stimuli like an iPad or a sound machine or whatever. I fell asleep to whatever show my mom was watching in the living room. And it was always like, ugh, my mom is like so the opposite of me. And maybe this is why I don't like those shows now, but like my mom watched a lot of like law shows and she still does. She likes like the criminal whodunits or whatever the fuck they're called. I don't care about it. I don't like any of that shit. But I think that's why is because I listened to all that stuff as I was trying to sleep as a kid. But my point is that like we've all been through it. But we had opportunities that kids now didn't have, right? Or will never have. All right. And then the ancient feminine wisdom, we got Nike victory. I love this. You are in the way of your own victory because you will not silence yourself to prepare for the messages incoming. You will not let go of your trauma so that you can unhang yourself from the rope. You're preventing yourself from your own victory. And trust me when I tell you, come back and watch this video after that full moon peaks. Trust me. Trust me, that full moon's brilliant. It has I mean, it's got some fire to it, of course, but it's a really good magical full moon. So anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Take care. Have a good weekend.